and players that really aren't classified as world-class superstars, like on a Germany team, on a France team, Brazil, you know what I'm saying, Spain, you've got guys that are accomplished stars, and on England you've got young stars.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to turn out the way that they've been turning out. One thing that I've kind of been wondering about is what's going on with Sterling. He seems to be getting to the places, but he just doesn't seem to be finishing once he gets there.
Yeah.
And now I got my dogs in there freaking out because all the coming home videos that are ringing on my computer at the present moment. So, but yeah, I mean, y'all want the trophy. It's fine. We'll pick it up in Berlin, deliver it to London, and in 4 years we'll come back and bring it back to Berlin.
Thank you.
Agreed?
I mean, yeah, we appreciate it.
Maybe Paris.
No.
We'll let it stop there so y'all can see it on the way. That's fine.
That's right. Hashtag Brexit.
Y'all can touch it.
Yeah, you can touch it, but it's coming home.
Listen,
it's coming home.
The amount of I'm
at
telling you
home. Now, it's in Berlin.
Because when I come in after France win it, you're not gonna like me no more. I'm telling you guys now.
I don't like you now.
You're not gonna like me no more.
I don't like you.
I'm gonna do the whole show in French. I promise you.
Je ne sais quoi. Anyway, thank you very much. We will speak to you after the next game, Croatia versus Russia. Who do you reckon is gonna win that one? Actually.
Actually, it would be better for the, and I don't want to say it as a bad thing, but better for the sport if Russia wins. But I think Croatia their midfield will kind of just take that and run with it.
Yeah.
So I've got it Croatia versus England.
Okay. All right.
Agreed.
Listen, thank you very much. We're going to see if you're right. Come in the next game. See you later, man.
Take it easy, bro.
Let's see y'all later.
See you. Right, let's see. What's some of these comments saying?
I mean, we've got Matthew Mills that says France is my 2022 champs as they hit their peak then. I feel like there's nothing stopping from France winning it next week Saturday.
Is this
next
a
week,
golden
Sunday?
generation for France, by the way?
But I feel like we've always had great players. Like people say golden generation. I've never ever felt like we could literally pick out 3 different starting 11s that could get to at least the quarterfinals.
That 2010 one was a bit.
2010 was too much like trying to kind of get players from the old generation and then bring them in over. That was the issue. Guys like Nasri, like Ribéry.
I saw Anelka was there as well.
Yeah, they're all beefing with like Henry and Anelka and
Dominic.
Yeah, there's all of that type of stuff. But France have always had great players. But people say 2022. I feel like France could win it. They're favourites at this point of the tournament. They're favourites, so they should win it this year. Trippier, England's best player. See, I'm not mad at that either. I think Trippier has been just as good as Henderson. I just feel like Henderson has just had a bit more of an influence in some of his performance throughout the tournament.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to put any of the centre backs there. I want to put Pickford as England's best player.
Listen, I just want to say, let's appreciate John Stones because
John Stones is a good defender. Good player.
The balls, as Pep said, that he needs to play the position.
I mean, I'm not here to talk about man's balls. I can't lie to you, bro.
The way, no Holmes. The
Pause,
way he,
several pauses.
the way he like encourages other people to play as well. I think a lot of credit needs to go to John Stones, and he isn't being mentioned, but he is integral and key to the way that England play. So I'm giving him a shout out.
Fair enough.
A lot of appreciation.
I feel like England's best players off the top of my head have been. I think Stones has been good overall. I think Trippier has been great. I think Henderson has been very, very good. I think Lingard has actually been pretty good in the games that he's played as well. Ashley Young, has been really, really good too. Kane, I'm a bit like he's been decent, but I wouldn't say he's been. He's not top 3 English best. Like
he's not, which is unfortunate. But you know that if you were to get a 1-on-1, you'd fancy him to take it.
Yeah. I mean, every day is the same. Says again, Kane's hold-up play was integral today. You need to educate. Okay, not me because I'm well educated in football. But I think he was talking
David
to
said that you've got excellent football knowledge.
Right?
But
that aside, I think Kane's game. You can make the argument today was probably Kane's best game in terms of his all-round contribution.
Yeah,
and I feel like obviously goals is the main currency as a striker, but it's a 90-minute game, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do outside of scoring goals. It takes a second to score a goal. So there's a lot of stuff to do outside of that.
Right, Abro is in our ears telling us that we must go to fan cams, so make sure you check these out. We're going to play those now and then take some more of your calls after that.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
Can we just talk about that magic second goal? Because I thought it was offsides for a second and I had to rewatch it like 1,000 times, and I realized that it was just like a magic trick. It was so amazing. That's all I want to talk about. That's all I have to talk about is that magic trick, because it was a magic trick. It was amazing. Great job, England. You're next up with Russia, Croatia. Let's see what happens.
Yeah! Literally could not be happier with that performance. The goals from obviously Ali Maguire, absolutely brilliant. Listen, semi-final night. We're gonna be there next Wednesday.
It's coming home.
It's coming home. It's coming home. It's fucking coming home. Guys, get your phone calls in. Get whatever in. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Alright, cheers mate, I appreciate it, thank you very much. So, come on, biggest England win in years and years and years, how you feeling? Does that guy have a drink? We went to the Euros, back in, I can't remember what it was, 2014, 2016. Yeah. And I've never felt so low about an England team in my life. And this team's finally brought back to this country what we've always wanted from a team that represents the shirt and the fans in the country, which is passion, hunger, desire, and like we love it. Everyone's behind them. You can see it in all the fan zones, whether like we are so behind them, and ecstasy, mate, pure ecstasy. So the atmosphere seems to just get better and better every game. I mean, mate, if we really do win it, it's going to be anarchy.
I've got 17 days annual leave. I'm taking them all off. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
As we saw, a lot of drinking from Terry there. Everyone asking where Terry was. He's actually at a family event today. You just saw Terry with his dad. So, yeah, he was clearly enjoying himself.
Was that his dad?
Yeah.
Raw.
Big up Terry and his dad.
He still looks young.
So yeah, that's where Terry is. He's gonna be back. But I don't think we're doing too badly. Flipping out, like rate us a little bit. Anyway, guys, we're still taking calls 0203-606-0315. We've got one now. Here we go. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name?
It's Daniel.
Hello. Oh,
what's good?
Daniel.
Raw.
Don't do me like that, bro. Come on, man. It's a good day to be an England fan as well.
I like Daniel in it because he's fair and he's honest. But one time he tried it. So,
oh word, Daniel, I like you already, fam. Keep going. Say your piece. Say your piece. Say your piece.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I mean, obviously, fantastic day to be an England fan. I mean, I'm only 21, and this is the first time I've seen us actually like ball out a tournament and actually play good. And you know, I've been getting a bit of stick in the group chat from probably fans of friends of mine who are obviously fans of other countries, and people saying, "Oh, we don't play great football. You've not got great players." And I'm going to obviously agree. It's probably the worst talent pool of England players I've seen while I've been watching football. But at the same time, we're playing some of the best football because we're actually playing in the system which actually works, and it stifles our opponents for the most part, and actually gives us chances to create at least decent chances from set pieces mainly, and obviously for crosses into the box. And you guys are talking about best performers of the tournament. For me, I'll probably say Trippier's number one. I'd then say 2 and 3, whichever order you want to put it, is probably Kane and Henderson, and I probably have Maguire up there as well. I think it's a bit underrated just how good Trippier's performance has been in terms of his delivery into the box. Defensively, he's been pretty decent as well, and yeah, I think Henderson gets a lot of bad credit just because he's not maybe, let's say, as good on the balls like a Wilshere or Pogba, but he's still been bowling out, still been putting in really good performances and sending balls up to the top. So yeah, I've been really happy with the performances.
Yeah, I think maybe I've been a little bit harsh about Henderson. I do think he has impressed me, and I think it's not just sideways passes, it's not just backwards passes. He has tried to play progressively. Like I said, I just think there's a certain level that he hasn't quite met yet. But as you said, England's talent pool is a little bit shallower than it has been in previous tournaments. So that's probably where that comes from. But just how far do you think this England team can go? Do you think they can beat Croatia? Do you think they can, if they happen to beat France? Obviously, Chris thinks that France are going to get to the final. How far do you think England can go?
Well, to be honest, I feel like we're going to do a Liverpool and get to a final and lose to Belgium. I don't think France are going to beat Belgium. Sorry, but yeah. The thing is, I can see us beating Croatia, but in the final, I don't know. I thought it was going to be a bit tough for us because although we are probably suited to playing against a bigger team and like playing a little bit without the ball and obviously counter-attacking, because in Lingard and Ali and Henderson, it's a lot of energy, but not necessarily a lot of creativity, as we did see for a large parts of today. I do feel like eventually a better team will get the best of our defense, because as you've seen, we needed Pickford to make some amazing saves, and I mean, we have to talk about it. I mean, like, he's probably goalkeeper of the tournament, along with probably Courtois, funnily enough, but I mean, some of the saves he made today, especially the first one from Toivonen, was brilliant. So again, that's someone else who's also been really impressive. And yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, even if he were to lose a final, or let's say win a third place playoff, I mean, that for me deserves like a parade of its own, like around the country, just because. I mean, we have to remember we've not won a knockout stage game before this until like I think Ecuador in like 2006 was it maybe, and yeah, I mean, in general, we've just not been performing. I mean, didn't qualify in 2008, 2010 was a joke, 2014 was even worse. So, I mean, just in general, we've been really, what the opposite of sport. We've been really deprived of actually good football from England. So, we can at least need to just appreciate the fact that we're actually doing good for once. So, that's why I'm happy.
Listen, Daniel, amazing call. You've redeemed yourself. Thank you.
One question.
Wait.
You know, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this.
It's also me, cuz. Daniel, say your piece.
No, I'll leave it. I'll leave Arsenal alone for now.
Yeah, exactly. Get off, man. Go away, man.
Alright, no worries, my guy.
I don't think he knew that you're an Arsenal fan. Last time he said.
Alright, cool. Let me go through some of the YouTube comments. Do you know what? A lot of people are kind of already talking about like Belgium and France already, and they kind of go through Belgium's game against Brazil yesterday and seeing how they match up. There's a little conversation about, you know, how good were Brazil, how good Belgium were, and I feel like, you know, Belgium were exceptional in the first half.
Yes.
And I think for the most part, Brazil were very, 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 very good in the second. However, the way I look at it is Belgium's game, they won't approach the game if they were to face England in that final. They won't approach England the way they approach Brazil. So I feel like Daniel brought up an interesting point about England being more suited to facing the bigger sides. I feel like that could definitely suit England against Belgium. I think that's a good point. Against France, I feel like France are also just as good as saying, you know what, we're not going to just try to flood your half. We're going to actually leave some numbers back. Like I said, I didn't know, up until Adam told me, I didn't know Pavard was actually a natural centre-back. I thought he was an out-and-out right-back. So you've got someone that can play conservatively there. Lucas is more of an attacking full-back. But if you start with Matuidi or Tolisso, Kante, Pogba, none of them have been playing particularly high up the pitch. Obviously, you know Kante isn't like that. Griezmann has been playing as a second striker. Mbappe has been playing almost as an out-and-out right winger / forward. And obviously, Giroud's been doing what he's doing. So I feel like France are just as capable of just sitting back and just waiting to counter you. So the approach that England will have if they were to beat Russia or Croatia in the semi-finals, I feel like you can say for all you want, you can say you should beat the teams in front of you, but they've not been asked certain questions yet, and I don't know if the final of a World Cup is the most ideal time to be asked of certain questions from a tactical point of view, from a psychological point of view, and also just from a technical point of view, because it's like you're facing literally some of the best players in the world, and you've not done that. Because even against England, even against Belgium in the group stages, you face a second string team, a reserve side. I'm just saying, like, this is great. Let's start thinking with this a little bit more and just adjust it a little bit and manage expectations.
Pride and passion. Where's George?
Bring in the next call, man.
Where's George? Hello, George. You're free to FanPark Live. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. What do you think about England's game?
Well, we were definitely on top of Sweden the whole game. And I want to point out Kyle Walker. He hasn't really been talked about, but I think he's been our best player. He's done lots of blocks, and even through all the games, I think he's played every game. Yeah. And I think he's definitely been one of the best players.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And the reason why I would say he's been one of the best is because he's not even playing in his natural position. I read an article not too long ago where he said that he doesn't actually feel comfortable playing at centre-back, but he's still doing a job for England, which I think is even more impressive. So you're definitely right on that. And I know we've been a bit silly. We've said that England can get all the way to the final and win it. But what do you think? How far do you think England can go?
I think it's coming home.
Oh man, George. Oh, George.
You said it. Now I find that hard to disagree with.
Caller of the day, George. I love that.
Thank you, George.
Thank you very much for your call, man.
Thank you.
No worries. Let me address something, and this is kind of away from England. A lot of people are, it seems in the YouTube comments, are very confident that Belgium are going to beat France. And I'm more or less repeating what I said to you earlier on off camera. But this is the reason why. Don't get me wrong. I feel like the game is like 55 to 60% in France's favour. Obviously, 45 to 40 in Belgium's favour. This is where Belgium can hurt France. They're just in form. They're just in great form at the moment. They've got great players from back to front, so the quality is there. I feel like from a tactical perspective, France have not met a team that is good going forward yet.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
Yeah, and
well, Brazil, but
no, France. Like France haven't met a team as good going forward yet. Even Argentina aren't as good. What I would say. No worries. What we'll say after this call is, yes, from a tactical point of view, facing like a 3-4-3, like it's questions that France may not have been accustomed to answering just yet. So that's the issue. But this is why, for me, France are not comfortable favourites, but why I feel confident going into that game. It's because, number one, France's defence is better equipped to deal with Belgium's attack.
Which is what you said, yeah.
Then Belgium's defence is able to pick up with France's attack. Belgium's best player, Hazard, and the areas that he operates in also have the best defensive midfielder in the world there too. And when, I don't think Deschamps will tell him to man mark Hazard, but if Kante is playing anywhere close to the level he's been playing at so far, I'm telling you now, Hazard's having a quiet game.
Unless
KDB also plays in the hole like he did yesterday.
But then there's an issue because then it's Fellaini and Witsel who will probably get dominated by Pogba and.
But that's what I'm saying. Like whether it be Tolisso and Pogba, Matuidi and Pogba, that's going to be the two-man matchup in midfield. And I feel like those little pockets in the middle, like just behind the defensive midfielder and just in front of the back line, Kante is just going to be there sweeping everything. Also, Lukaku, as fantastic a tournament as he's had, and he's had a fantastic tournament. Literally, in my opinion, the best defender in the world equipped for Lukaku in Varane.
Oh, I thought you were going to say MT.
No. But like you've got two very good defenders, two very athletic defenders that are also there and they're able to deal with Lukaku's threat as well. Whether he be pulling out wide, whether he wants to stay in the middle, like those defenders are comfortable doing that. So we'll get into that more.
I just want to read out this. Lynn Hall. Why would God save that old hag you call the quick Lynn?
Lynn needs to smoke one and chill out.
Chill.
And I think going the other way, there's no one on our Belgium team that's going to be able to deal with Griezmann dropping into pockets and making those runs. Vertonghen's going to have a time with Mbappe. I think Kompany's going to deal with Giroud, but Griezmann is just going to be playing in pockets. And because Belgium don't play a natural holding midfielder, because their defenders are going to be forced to come out of their back line and then open up space for other runs, I feel like Belgium won't be able to deal with that. Martinez doesn't coach great size defensively. France will deal with Belgium.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think that point out of all of them is probably the most poignant, and I think I agree with you. Last caller, and then we're going to play you out with some fan cams. Hello, you're free to FanPark now. What's your name?
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, you?
I'm
not
good.
too bad, bro.
I'm brilliant.
What's your name, bro?
Yeah.
Tell us your
Jack.
Jack, yeah?
Jack.
Tell us
Just
your
quickly, would you mind turning down whatever you're watching in the background, please? Sorry.
Cool, 1 sec.
No worries.
Yo.
Talk to us, G.
Yes. So, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Sterling shit.
Oh, okay. Straight off the bat. Is it what about his game isn't great?
He just can't shoot or nothing. It's just annoying.
But then, do you not think that he has other aspects to his game that make him a half decent player?
Just as much as Welbeck. Well, Rashford's got it all, so.
And so, do you think Rashford should be playing over Sterling?
Rashford or Welbeck?
To be fair, I don't disagree. Rashford came up at Man United as a second striker. He could easily play in the position that Sterling's played for England so far, and he's better going forward.
Really, guys? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. If Rashford started ahead of Sterling next game, I wouldn't be mad.
But Welbeck is not the same player that he was when he came.
Yeah, that Welbeck shout is wild. I can't lie to you, bro. I can't get.
Rashford, I can hear, but Welbeck, you're trolling. You have to be.
No, I'm generally being serious, man. I just don't like Sterling. He can't shoot or nothing.
No, I do. He had what? He had two. Or he had one chance because one of them he was offside.
Listen, man, people shouldn't get gassed by what they saw with him at Man City last year. Like, he had a great season, but a lot of that is because Man City's attack is so good, you just have to score tap-ins. Gabriel Jesus was scoring tap-ins all season. Now you've got to create chances for Brazil. He's struggling. So, but I still rate Sterling. But don't look to him for goals.
That's it. Sorry, just lastly, do you think there's something that he can improve on, or do you think that's it, literally written off? He is a crap player. That's it for him.
Like he's not bad, but he just needs to properly work on his shooting and be more clinical. Because against big teams like France, like the amount of chances he'll miss, it won't really benefit.
I do hear that. Listen, Jack, thank you very much for your call.
No worries, guys.
Thanks for that.
Speak to you later.
Speak to you soon. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of this particular show.
It does bring us to the end. Listen, so. You try to bring me down to reality, back down to earth, and I'm really trying to use a level head and not. I feel you.
I'm gonna come back to you in an hour, and then me and you will actually talk properly.
Hold on. It's football. He's ringing.
Oh my God.
He's ringing.
You're
Hello?
so sneaky.
Hello, mate. Oh, you're coming home. You're coming home. He's still coming home. So I don't care what France says. I don't care about Belgium, KDB, what's his name, Kante in the areas that Hazard's gonna pick up. I don't give a damn. Football is coming home.
I got the studio engineer just chatting shit about it's coming home in my ears as well. Home. Like when England lose, it's not gonna be nice. And I'm not the I told you so guy. I'm not the gloating guy. Like, you know how I am when it comes to football. I'm not that guy. But you lot have been talking fraff for long. Yo, guys, listen, turn up for the Russia-Croatia game. That's going to be a great game in my opinion, especially for the football. And obviously, that's who England are going to be facing in the semis. So it's important that all you guys watch that game. And then you call us afterwards and we talk about that game in detail. My name is Chris Kane.
Fan cams. We're playing.
This is Adam Charles.
See you later, guys.
We'll talk to you in a bit. Peace.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
Alright, so England are one game away now from a World Cup final. How do you feel?
This is the first time in decades that we've been able to be positive about England. That's fucking beautiful. Yeah.
Alright, cheers. Oh, hello, how you doing? Go on then.
Stay here.
How you doing?
Too many drinks.
There you go, he loves the game. You can stop in between them because otherwise. Almost now in a World Cup final. Say whatever the fuck you like. How you feel? Unbelievable. Lost my voice. Fucking incredible. What's your name? Ross. Ross! There we go.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.